guys, welcome back to Shelf Life Extension. I'm Alexis, and today I'm going to be talking to you about the never-ending TBR pile. I hope you guys are all having a wonderful Monday, or at least your case of the Mondays ain't that bad. But hello to all the new subscribers I got over the weekend, like, hey, what's up? Cause on Saturday I had like 55, and then on Sunday morning I woke up and I was like, holy crap, I got 145. I didn't know like what was going on. I was like, what did I do? And then I realized that Lindsay Ray gave me a shout out on her channel. So thank you, Lindsay. Hello, thank you. And hello to all my new subscribers. Hello, let's be friends. Okay, let's be buddies. But yeah, like I said, I'm gonna be tackling the never-ending TBR pile because a lot of us, you know, avid readers, we like to stay updated, and we just like to read a lot, right? So in which case, you buy books, then you buy some more books, and then you buy more books, and then the books that you bought before just kind of end up in the bottom of the pit, that never-ending pile of books, and you forget about them. Or there's ones that you just actively avoid because you're just not interested anymore, because, you know, obviously tastes change throughout time. When new books come out, sometimes you're just like, I'm not interested in attempting that anymore, I'd rather read this new stuff. So today I'm going to be talking about 5 books, which are right here, which are books that I haven't read or I attempted to read but never finished, and I probably will never get around to reading them. If you are interested in any of these books that I mentioned, be sure to let me know, because then maybe you can motivate me to actually do read them. In which case, if I ever did, it wouldn't be anytime soon. Just saying. Otherwise, if you have read any of the books I'm going to mention, then again, please be sure to let me know in the comments below. Okay, first things first, I'm going to start off with The Lost Fleet by Jack Campbell. I bought this for my husband because my husband doesn't read, but his excuse was always like, oh, I just haven't found anything I liked, you know, which is a pretty valid excuse, I guess. But I'm just like, well, then why don't you try looking for something? And he's like, brr. And I'm just like, well, I'm gonna buy something. So I bought him this because, I mean, come on, every day he comes home and he plays Halo or Destiny or what was the other one? You know, all those games. And I was just like, hey, it's like Halo and Destiny in a book form. I think you would like this. But he never picked it up. And then since, of course, I bought it for him, thinking that this would appeal to his taste, I never picked it up because I'm not that interested in this. If you have read any of these books by Jack Campbell, at least in this series, let me know, because maybe, because I mean, I might. I don't know. But anyways, this is about Captain John Blackjack Urey and his first fleet, who are ordered back into action to investigate the aliens occupying the far side of Syndic space and determine their threat. In which case, war and destruction and things. I don't know. Kind of reminiscent of Ender's Game too. So, and obviously it wasn't Halo based off of Ender's Game to begin with. So, I did like Ender's Game, so maybe I would like this, but I don't know. I just, you know, I'm not in the mood for it. I'm rarely in the mood for something like this, and I'm just, you know, I'm just gonna stick with the other books that I have on my list to go buy and to go read. Next is Skyship Academy: The Pearl Wars by Nick James. I don't remember, I think I bought this in like 2011, so it was like after high school. It was when I first got to my base here in Spokane, Washington, and I was like trying to get back into reading and keep myself occupied. I saw this and I got it. One, because it was like super sci-fi looking, and also because it was a local Seattle author and the story takes place in Seattle, which, you know, when a book takes place in your hometown, you're just like, I know those places. I could legit picture this. So I was like, yes, let's do it. But I started it and I tried to attempt it, but the characters seemed relatively younger than what I was used to, and probably more like middle grade than young adult. So I just couldn't really connect with them, and I just couldn't really get into the story, and I ended up pursuing other things. But otherwise, this is a dystopian sci-fi novel, and it's about the Earth has pretty much died, and there are these pearls that fall down from space, and they have enough energy to supplement an entire city. So there are these wars to try and get these pearls so that, you know, obviously groups of people can survive. And it's about these two kids that kind of find each other in the path of the wars of getting these pearls, in which they discover that by using the pearls they can get powers, I think. me just, something like that. But otherwise there's, you know, some magic, there's crazy space stuff, crazy sci-fi things, and actually now that I'm talking about it, it kind of does sound pretty interesting, but I have other things that I want to read. So as interesting as it sounds, I probably won't get into it. If you guys have read this or read anything by Nick James, then be sure to let me know, because, you know, hey. And if you guys are interested in hearing about this, then hey, maybe you could persuade me just a little bit to read it. Next will be Behemoth by Scott Westerfeld. Now this is definitely a high school thing, because I think I was a freshman when I read Leviathan by Scott Westerfeld, which is the first book in this, it's a trilogy, I'm pretty sure. My friend Shelby was a much more avid reader than I was in the first couple years of high school, in which case she read Leviathan, told me it was amazing, gave it to me, I read it, I really liked it, and then once this came out, I went ahead and bought it. But not only is this like sci-fi fantasy for young adult, it is steampunk. There is a lot of different and new things going on in this, and just with the whole steampunk genre, it's a lot to take in, and there's just slang, and there's just so many crazy things going on that you're just like, if you haven't read Leviathan, or it's been a while from Leviathan, then I just couldn't make the connections anymore, and I couldn't really remember what was happening. I remember the first book was about, I know the storyline follows two kids. One is a girl named Darren who dresses as a boy to become a pilot in the British Air Services, and then the other is a boy named Alec who is the heir to an empire. Oh man, what empire was it? Yeah, either way, he was a prince, he was the heir to whatever country that works in that, yeah, thing. But it follows them and their adventures and how war and all that good stuff. And yeah, the only time I would ever pick this up on my own and actually attempt to read it again is if I read Leviathan all over again. But I'm not tempted to go out and buy Leviathan, because obviously I'd rather get to other things first. So this is probably just gonna sit on my shelves forever. I might, actually I don't know if Shelby has this book, I might give it to her. Have you guys read this series? I know some people have read this series. If you've read this series, let me know. You let me know. Okay, next I'm going to talk about Sphinx's Queen by Esther Fresner. Now, this is the sequel to Sphinx's Princess, which I have read and I did enjoy, and I liked it enough to buy this one once I saw that it had come out. But it follows the story of Nefertiti as she grows up and becomes Queen of Egypt. Now, it's very historical fiction. I've read the first two books that Esther Fresner has written in this series, God. And it follows Helen of Troy. Oh, I can't remember what those titles were. I have those books, I do. They're actually at my parents'. I forgot to grab them, otherwise they would have been in my bookshelf tour, but I forgot about it and I can't remember the titles. But I read those two and I really liked those two. Very emotional with those two. And then of course, since I love that so much, I went ahead and got the Sphinx's series when it came out. I also know there's another series about a Chinese princess, which I am pretty tempted to grab at some point, maybe. I don't know. But otherwise, yeah, this is just the sequel and I've just never picked it up. It's very historical in that, like, you have to be paying attention to the details or else you'll kind of get lost in the story. So obviously if you don't have the patience or you just can't get into it, then that makes it very difficult. I know that was the case for the first book, and I knew that would be the case again for this one. And since I haven't read this series in forever, I just ain't tempted. I'm just not tempted to go back and rehash it. But maybe in the future, if you guys are interested, then maybe I will. I don't know. And last but not least, I know I'm not gonna touch this one, even if you wanted me to. Not gonna do it, and that's Torbett by Lauren Kate. I think you would know by now that I do not like this story. Fallen, which is the first one. So this is the sequel to it. Nice, brand new. I bought it like as I was reading Fallen, when I was like in the first half of the book. First 50 pages, I was like, I'm gonna like this. So I went and bought this, and then it just death, dislike, crushed happiness. You know, I did not like it, and then I was like, I have this and I'm stuck with it. So those two books taking up space. Follows the lives of two fated lovers and who meet at a boarding school, and they have to overcome the fate that is set out for them and try and make their own, which sounds all nice and good, except that the protagonist is an annoying, lifeless thing. I don't like her. I don't like the romance. Just don't like it. Don't like it. So this, I'll never get to this. If you want this book, if you like this series and you want this book, you can have it. Yeah, let me know. Otherwise, yes, these are the 5 books that I could legitimately look at and be like, I'm probably never gonna touch these. If I do end up touching these, it won't be anytime soon. It'll probably be later down into the year, if at all, or maybe even next year, or unless someone tells me to get on it. Otherwise, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. I would love to know what books you guys have decided to not attempt. If you would like to do a video, then please, you know, tag me in it, let me know, because I'd love to see it. And otherwise, yeah. So thanks for watching. I will check you guys back on Wednesday. Bye.